And we're live. Episode 655 of the No Participation Trophies podcast. What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Hey, it's been a little bit of a
Hello.
minute since we spoke, but
It's
I think we should dive right into it.
it's been a minute, bro. We gotta touch base real quick on the freaking Super Bowl number 55. Tom Brady's 7th ring, 10th appearance. What are you guys feeling?
Well, this was a Super Bowl that I think none of us were expecting. I don't think there was a single person out there that was predicting a blowout 31-9 in Tom Brady's favor, and Mahomes couldn't score a single touchdown.
I think it was definitely one that would be very easy to forget about because we legit forgot about it. And that just tells you how easy it was. It was very forgettable, which I thought was very rare because it had probably the best quarterback of NFL history, best winning quarterback of NFL history, I should say. And then Patrick Mahomes, who's a young, upcoming, young, great quarterback as well. And it was snooze fest. It
really was.
yeah.
You kept on like waiting, like, it's gonna get close. Halftime. Oh, Chiefs,
Yep.
they get the ball first, man. They get a touchdown here. It's a different ball game, and it just never got there. It just never. I mean, this was one of the most hyped up Super Bowls with, as you said, two of the obviously Brady the GOAT and one of the young up and comers where a lot of people were calling Michael Jordan and the greatest ever and this and that. And it didn't materialize to anything. I was talking with a Chiefs fan a couple days before the Super Bowl, and this guy was all shitting on Brady, saying, "Oh, all he could do against the Giants, man, was put up 13 or 14 points. He couldn't even score a touchdown. Barely scored a touchdown until the end of the game." Or the Rams. Oh, the Rams, he only scored one touchdown. What did he score? 13 points. And then Mahomes and Chiefs couldn't even score a touchdown. Sean, I want to give you credit, though, on one of our last podcasts to all of our fans that might recall. Sean was actually here saying it's going to come down to the offensive and defensive line. And now, certainly, we all knew the defensive line on the Bucks, but did we all expect the offensive line like that?
Man, I feel like fucking Nostradamus, but shit, that was crazy.
Called that.
Yeah, I really don't have much more to say about the game. Just, obviously, I feel like the Chiefs, if they had their tackles, it might have been a different game. But hearsay, the Bucks came out and they spanked the Chiefs. It's not like they won. It's not like it was a close game, and then you could think, hey, you know what, maybe
play, maybe.
Yeah, but it was just going into halftime. It was 21-6, and the Chiefs had the ball. So you thought, hey, you score here, you're back in the game. It's a one-score game, but I think what do you? It was either a quick 4-and-out, or if it was an interception, the game was so long ago and it was forgettable that I already forgot, and I don't care. So I'll let Tay2 talk about the rest.
There were some questionable ref calls though in that game, though. I gotta say, for a Super Bowl game, there was a lot of questionable calls, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't think they let them play really, and I don't know what it was. I think the story of that game was, okay, it's the first female ref coaching a Super Bowl, bro. That's what I remember from that game. that's all I remember is a female ref, man.
Cool.
Freaking winning a Super Bowl, dude. For Super Bowl to be called like that, I think it was disgraceful, and I think NFL needs to really look at how they call these games. That's what I think.
Here's what I do wonder, though, is the Chiefs have been holding defensively, a lot of the season. I really wonder if the Bucks had a full season on tape and said, you keep on missing the Chiefs in their defensive holding calls. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And again, when I've spoken with a lot of the Chiefs fans, they all said, we ain't worried about the Bucks receivers. Why? Because we've got big physical cornerbacks who can stop these guys. And, that's what their strategy was. We ain't going to worry about them. We'll put our big corners on them and, we'll rough them up a little bit. And I think that just bit them in the rear a little bit. But I agree, though, safety. There was a lot of close, questionable calls. And now it didn't affect the end of the game. But, hey, one first down here, one first down there. Might have, put something together and made the game a lot closer. We don't know. But, I think the big storyline in this was Andy Reid's inability or Eric Bieniemy's inability to make a play. They kept on running the same old thing. And instead of running the ball, instead of short passes, instead of screens, they kept on just saying, "Go deep, man. I'll truck it to you," and it wasn't there. And so I think
They
this
didn't.
major failure on Andy Reid. There was some talk, and Sean, I'll let you get into a minute, but there was some talk on potentially Andy Reid, if he wins the Super Bowl, being better than Bill Belichick. And if Andy Reid was, and this just completely slams the door. And frankly, although Belichick got embarrassed because Brady won a Super Bowl, this did help, I believe, just to recognize Bill Belichick's, genius and ability as a coach. Maybe not as a GM, but as a coach, the second greatest coach, Andy Reid, flat out got embarrassed because he couldn't make second half adjustments.
And
I was just gonna go off that point. I'm like, the biggest thing about Bill Belichick, and trust me, I am not a Patriots fan, and by any means.
The haters,
But
right?
I'm a hater.
You're not a fan yet.
Never will be. But the biggest thing with Bill Belichick is that he will shut down your number one option, and that he will always make second half adjustments.
Yeah,
And
I think that's a
Andy
good
Reid
segue.
couldn't do either one. He couldn't stop. Like, they just ran the ball the whole game.
Yeah.
I
I don't even
right down the throat.
that Super Bowl was like a month ago. I don't even want to talk about him. But speaking of Bill Belichick and how he's a good coach, but not a good, what'd you say, Eric? GM.
I never say he's not a good GM. Because I think that's a little bit overrated. But
I will say he is not a good GM. He's a tremendous coach, an amazing coach, Hall of Fame coach. GM, middle of the road.
Okay, well,
let
let's
me segment this on one more thing on a little bit of the bigger picture. Tom Brady, Mahomes. This was being hyped up as Jordan versus LeBron, and man, it pissed me off. Sean, you asked me, a couple shows ago, man, what do you got against Mahomes? I've got nothing against Mahomes. He's an incredible player, talented guy. I might not like his fiance or his wife or whatnot. I might not like his brother.
Baby mama.
I might not like the fans, but I love Mahomes. He is super talented. He's down to earth. He's humble. I got nothing against Mahomes. But you know what I can't stand? When the guy wins one Super Bowl, and before he even won a Super Bowl, and people are already comparing him to Jordan or LeBron. You've got to be kidding me, man.
I kind of relate to how you're feeling about Mahomes to how I felt about LeBron James growing up. Like, everybody was all about LeBron this, LeBron that. Yeah, but they made him the next Jordan before he even got one ring.
Sure.
But he also had to go to Miami and do all that stuff. So I put it in a different level field. But everybody hyped him and they crowned him.
They did.
As the late Dennis, was it Allen? I don't know his name anymore. He was a coach of the Vikings. They didn't crown his ass.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Dennis Green.
Dennis Green, yes.
Cardinals, man. He was the coach of the Cardinals at the time.
He was the Vikings, and he went to the Cardinals after. Yeah. But I would say, you want to crown them, you can crown them. But I would agree. There is a lot of things. But I think that's just where we live now. Everybody's looking for the next big thing. They see Tom Brady getting 40+ years old. This kid comes in, young 20s. Maybe they give him the, the next one to do it, because obviously, he's still doing it. So I guess there's no reason to look for the next one when you still have the current one.
That is the problem with sports media, man, is they always, even last year or the year prior when Lamar won the MVP, they were hyping up Lamar, and, kind of the Mahomes talk kind of dropped down until he went back into the playoffs. I get it, but I just can't stand the disrespect that people are going to say, oh, Mahomes is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. If he wins this one, he's back-to-back. Go, Jordan. He's the Jordan. I can't tell you how much I've heard over the last 2 years. The guy, and it's not fair to Mahomes. These people, these Chiefs fans in the media, has put Mahomes on a pedestal and a level that you can just not meet. You can't meet a guy going to 9 Super Bowls and expect Mahomes is going to do the same. Now you can't put him on the pedestal of expecting he's going to get 7 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. This is unprecedented territory. And, I just couldn't stand it. So frankly, I certainly feel for Mahomes for have that loss, and that was not all of his fault, although he does deserve some blame. If people are going to say he's the greatest, he's the highest paid, Mahomes, you can't check out of a damn play, man. You can't check out of a play and dump it off to your running back. You can't check out of a play and run it. You've got to listen to everything that Andy Reid's got to do. You're the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. You are a Super Bowl MVP, although he's the worst Super Bowl MVP passer rating in NFL history, but whatever. You can't.
All right, think you sat on the soapbox for the last 5 minutes shitting on Patrick Mahomes. Let's just end the segment here and we'll catch you
Move
in the
on
next
to
episode.
the segue, which was planned, which was
like
all the off-season, all the off-season acquisitions going on with the Patriots to start. Speaking of Bill Belichick.